Straight ahead on 12 News, what a year to get involved in politics. Meet a Brooklyn Park woman who'll get an up-close look at politics on a national stage. Plus, 2 stories on water. One involves Robbinsdale District students understanding the importance of clean water. But first, Brooklyn Center's new high-tech way of making sure its water is clean.
It's going to taste different. The old water had iron, manganese, and ammonia in it.
12 News start. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. A new high-tech water treatment facility in Brooklyn Center is improving the safety and the taste of city water.
Reporter Sonia Goen shows us why the city worked quickly to get the facility up and running.
In 2013, the Minnesota Department of Health said that there was trouble with water coming out of the tap. Manganese levels were too high.
At high levels is where it can cause trouble.
The city was in a rush to fix the water system. High levels of the mineral can be bad for pregnant women and young children. Manganese can affect the central nervous system.
The health-based value was set at 100 for infants and pregnant women, and the city's manganese levels at the time were over 300.
The city has 9 underground well sites. In the past, those wells were not filtered.
That's where you pick up the minerals. You get the iron and the manganese from water passing through the soils.
The new filtration system started operating in January.
We have 6 filters. It's designed to filter 7 million gallons per day, but we can push it to 10 million gallons per day.
The filters will trap manganese and iron particles, allowing clean water to flow through.
Now the 8 of the 9 wells come here. They're filtered. The water comes through the filter, and there's a clear well reservoir underneath the plant. And there's about 1.2 million gallons of water below us.
Residents might notice the water tastes a little different. Before water leaves the plant, chlorine and fluoride is added for health reasons.
You have a safer water. We've removed the manganese to get below the health-based value.
In Brooklyn Center, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The water filtration system costs a little less than $20 million. To help pay for it, the city got a loan from the State Public Facilities Authority. An open house at the Brooklyn Center water treatment plant will be held Thursday evening. Now to an update involving a Metro Mobility bus driver accused of sexually assaulting a vulnerable adult in Maple Grove.
According to a plea deal reached with Hennepin County prosecutors, the bus driver will avoid prison time but must spend a year in the county workhouse. The criminal complaint says Segundo Acapina picked up a woman with developmental disabilities from a group home and drove to a secluded parking lot, then used an umbrella to block bus cameras before the alleged assault occurred. The plea deal requires Acapina to register as a sex offender. He could also still see prison time if he violates terms of his probation. A judge will rule on the agreement in September.
A Maple Grove woman has pleaded guilty to stealing more than $1 million from her Brooklyn Park employer. Stephanie Davis was accused of cashing forged checks from Reliable Medical Supply, where she worked as an accounts payable clerk. A company audit revealed the theft had been going on for more than 10 years. Davis will be sentenced in August. Brooklyn Park's top 4-legged crime fighter is now retired after his last night on the job. Dingo served the city's police department since 2008. The police dog received multiple awards for locating criminal suspects. In 2014, Dingo and his officer companion, Jeremy Halleck, ranked number 2 in the nation for narcotics detection. Some students in the Robbinsdale School District are focusing on racial, cultural, and academic development this summer.
It is an extension of the American Indian Education Program and takes place at Sonneson Elementary School. And as Eric Nelson found out, this course takes place in and out of the classroom.
The Robbinsdale School District is drumming up something new this summer.
So we are trying to give them tools throughout this program that will help them transform the world.
The DREAMS program is a pilot project that integrates kids from 7 different schools to learn about multicultural topics.
DREAM stands for Destiny Rules Everything Around Me, and that's the type of learning that we want to inspire in our children.
One of today's topics was water quality. The students came to this nearby pond and they found out a lot about dirty water and green algae. They did this by taking samples. In this demonstration, the kids showed us how they quickly learned that clean water is crucial.
There is nothing more important to the human life as well as the cycle of life than water. So we want to make sure that we have champions for clean water through student activism.
Sometimes water can get really dirty from anything, from like algae, animal waste, and even human waste.
It looks like it's pretty dirty so far because of the algae, and it looks like there could be like some bugs or like parasites in there.
This lesson on water was fostered by the Flint, Michigan water crisis.
We want to help students understand how the water comes from the pond, how it comes from the lakes, the rivers, and gets into their faucet.
The kids also discovered that a green pond can be home to many creatures and things.
We saw turtles, we saw birds, we saw bugs, we saw everything.
In New Hope, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
There will be a student showcase exhibit on June 30th. The emphasis will be on native arts and language, drumming, dancing, science, and writing.
A woman from Brooklyn Park is one of the youngest delegates from Minnesota, scheduled to attend the Democratic National Convention next month in Philadelphia.
I was interested in getting more involved because I live in Brooklyn Park. I live in this area, and it said that they were tackling issues, taking conflicts and resolutions for issues that were specific to Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center area.
That's why 23-year-old Shakia McDavid went to the caucuses held at Park Center High School last March. Little did she know it would be the first step towards district and state conventions, where she was named as a delegate to Philadelphia. It may be a national stage, but she has local issues in mind.
In Brooklyn Park, a lot of our youth ages 13 to 18, especially in the summer months, struggle with staying out of trouble. And I'm sure that's youth everywhere.
McDavid says she wants to look into economic development for youth at the convention. The summer solstice Monday means that the long summer days and nights are now officially here.
Yeah, right now we have 15 and a half hours of daylight, allowing plenty of time to enjoy evening activities until well after 9 o'clock at night during these summer months. And sunrise is just before 5:30, and though we will lose a few seconds each day now that the summer solstice, or the longest day of the year, is behind us. At the National Weather Service in Chanhassen, they are expecting a warmer than usual summer with the possibility of a bit more precipitation than normal.
Looking at what the Climate Prediction Center is saying, they're predicting for the 3-month aggregate, July, August, September, above normal temperatures for virtually the entire country.
We've already had a couple of hot days in June, and you can expect a few more heat waves to hit before the summer is over. Severe weather storms are always a possibility this time of year, so a reminder to stay tuned to the forecast. Well, coming up, a drastic measure that's getting doctor support to help combat type 2 diabetes.
That is next in Health Check. And then a little bit later in sports, Wayzata and Champlin Park wrap up the prep baseball season as they battle for a state championship.
But first, a chance for showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday.
Type 2 diabetes is a disease that affects the way your body handles glucose.
Yeah, it's a disease that affects about 27 million people in the United States. And as Delane Cleveland reports in today's Health Check, some medical professionals are trying to get the word out about an effective yet underutilized treatment for people living with type 2.
You've had quite an adventure.
It has been.
A visit to the doctor's office has taken on a new meaning for Plymouth resident Kurt Hotz.
Nobody has said I look too thin other than my mother.
Today, he can have a normal conversation with his physician.
Our culture is a sitting culture.
But in the not too distant past, the discussions took on a different tone.
I was on several blood pressure medicines. My cholesterol was very high. I was approaching diabetic standard. I was technically diagnosed as pre-diabetes.
Pre-diabetes turned into actual diabetes. And early last year, Kurt weighed nearly 400 pounds. For him, food was always a form of comfort.
I grew up with a mother who said, clean your plate, and you didn't leave the table unless your plate was clean.
Ultimately, he decided it was time for a lifestyle change. So in March of 2015, he opted to undergo weight loss surgery and lost 140 pounds in the process.
Just from a lifestyle standpoint, I'm much more active. I've joined a gym. I actually can exercise and rebound from that.
In addition, he says that his diabetes is in remission, which comes as no surprise to Dr. Gil Hartley of HCMC.
In my opinion, at least, the safest and most effective treatment for adult type 2 diabetes, is surgery.
It's a method that's recently received the support of the American Diabetes Association and others who treat the disease. Dr. Hartley says 10% of the population could benefit from the surgery, but less than 1% go through with it.
The fact that so many people could benefit from surgery and so few are getting it has something to do with trying to educate people.
Now he's on a quest to spread the message about the benefits of weight loss surgery.
I put on a pair of shorts that I wore last summer, and I can literally could stick my fist in, and the waistband is out to here.
Something Kurt knows all about.
It gives you that opportunity for a future.
For Health Check, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Doctors say when the weight loss surgery is done as soon as possible after a diabetes diagnosis, the likelihood of remission is greatest and is likely to last many years. Well, coming up, day one on a summer job for a local teenager.
But first, local teams square off for a championship in baseball as Wayzata meets Champlin Park. John Jacobson has the highlights coming up next in sports.
Tough to do anything when a pitcher is on, like the Wayzata pitcher was last night. In fact, he went the distance, right?
He did go the distance, and they got good hitting. Their defense was good. Champlin Park didn't play its best game, and it all ended up with a Wayzata win. The Wayzata and Champlin Park baseball teams each were ranked #1 in Class A, 4A for a portion of this season. The Trojans and Rebels are both in the championship game in baseball for the first time ever as they met up at Target Field Monday night. Wayzata ace Tom Scorrell shows early he's going to be tough. He strikes out the side in the second inning. Rebels starter Drew Nelson runs into trouble in the third inning. The run already in. Will Ober get to chopper up the middle for a hit. Cameron Keenan scores, but second runner Parker Lavacek is tagged out by catcher Derek Smith. It's 2-0 Trojans. Coach Corey Davis and the Rebels respond in the bottom of the third. Eric Pearson grounds a single to left. Alex Bakriji scores, but the Rebels also lose a run at the plate. Riley Johnson tagged out by Jake Marsh. The score stays 2-1. It's all Wayzata from there. With Aaron Klepner on in relief, Griffin Schneider slaps a hit to left to score Danny Dice. The second runner is held this time. It's 3-1 Trojans. In the fifth, Jarrett Briol tags it a long way. Not quite enough to get out of Target Field, but it's to the base of the fence. Cody Getters scores and a booming double for Briol, and it's 4-1 Wayzata. Dice keeps the rally going. He singles to bring Briol home to make it 5-1 Wayzata through 5 innings. They score at least 1 run in every inning from the third inning on. Then in the sixth, Oberg delivers a hit up the middle. This one brings Lavacek home with the 6th run of the game for the Trojans. They get 3 in the inning total to pull away from Champlin Park. And Scorrell goes the distance with a 5-hitter. He gets the last out of the game on a foul pop-out to catcher Marsh. And the celebration is on as Wayzata wins its first state baseball title with a 9-1 win.
At the start of the season, we set goals, and this was one of them. And it feels amazing to not only just set this goal, but set all the goals we set to do this season.
Our coach has been saying to us this whole tournament, he's been saying that it's just a game and the sun will rise tomorrow. So we've just been taking it game by game and like it's just any other game. So we were all pretty calm coming in this one. I think that really helped.
It's hard to see this group that's so special to us and has done such amazing things for our baseball program. To have their season end like this is tough. It's nothing you want to see. It's for them to get 24 wins, 4 losses, make it to the state championship. It stings right now, kind of like losing a loved one. But hopefully, as time goes by, they'll put things into perspective a little bit and realize all the great things that they did this season and the fun that they had.
Class 4A all-tournament team selections included Parker Lavacek, Tom Scorrell, Will Oberg, and Griffin Schneider of Wayzata, Aaron Klepner and Riley Johnson of Champlin Park, and Isaac Collins of Maple Grove. As the high school baseball season wraps up, a change regarding pitch counts could be coming next season. The State High School League is studying a recommendation to make mandatory pitch count limits for high school pitchers. For juniors and seniors, it would be set at 105 pitches with 3 days rest required, or 2 days rest after 75 pitches. We talked with coaches and players from local state entrants to get their thoughts.
I mean, I'm all for it if it's saving arms. I know a big thing here and a big thing in my family, it's pitch count, and you don't want to use your arm too early in your life, and for guys that want to keep playing and keep moving on, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I think it's a good idea, to be honest.
Having known a lot of the high school coaches around here, just about every single one of them really are conscientious about their players, their arms, and I think you see that nationwide with the bloom of a lot of really good Minnesota baseball players going all over the place to play college baseball.
Pitcher care is really our utmost priority, and the rule that they've set out is far more than what we'd allow a pitcher to do anyway. So if they were to institute that pitch count, I wouldn't be against it.
I'm kind of in favor of having a guideline that coaches can go by, but the problem I see with making it a definite number is that you have kids who are, can go the extra innings or the extra pitches, and you might have some kids that don't. And to kind of create a rule, one size fits all, I'd have a little question about.
The proposal will be evaluated by the Baseball Coaches Association in the fall before possible implementation for the 2017 season. So still more to come on this topic.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, and so it begins for a Brooklyn Park team.
It's day one on the job and already a lesson learned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Despite improving employment conditions for youth, getting a summer job can be hard if you're 16 and you have limited experience.
Now, this is Farouk Solei's first day on the job with the Parks Department in Brooklyn Park. We found him pulling weeds at the Community Activity Center's flower gardens. He got the job through the nonprofit Tree Trust, which hires about 300 young people every summer and places them in a variety of work experiences. Already, he's learned something about bending and stretching that comes with gardening.
I see a lot of people doing it, but I think, oh, that's easy. But then when you actually do it, you see that it's not that easy because it hurts a little.
Farouk is in it for the experience and the money. He is saving for some soccer cleats and eventually a car, things that 16-year-olds definitely require.
And maybe a 16-year-old will even have some sore muscles. So it makes all of us feel a little better.
He's a hard worker, though. Right? The guy that was working with him says he's a good worker.
He's a good worker.
And learning a lot. That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again Wednesday, starting at 4 o'clock.